Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here, and it's time for another market update. And it's not just time, it is overtime. This is definitely overdue. So much stuff has happened. We had the huge dump, which, by the way, if you watched the last video that I did make, I did say that, we're probably going to be coming down. Things were not looking good. And, we did actually end up coming down. And then we had this news that the Bitcoin ETF was not going to get denied, or I guess it was the SEC cannot sign the submission of a spot ETF, Bitcoin ETF. Does that mean that it's going to be approved? No, it doesn't. And it's probably going to get denied or delayed for a little bit longer. That's my opinion. And we'll probably see a little bit more, or maybe a lot more downside before it actually does get approved. But regardless, that news was super, super bullish, and it skyrocketed. Well, I don't want to say skyrocketed the price, but it did move the price up quite significantly. Unfortunately, you could see right here that the price is right back down to where it was before the news even happened. So pretty much we need a really big catalyst and something to happen right now, or else this thing is just, honestly, it looks like it's just going to roll over, because it would be pretty weird to see it come all the way up, all the way back down, and then go all the way up again. I mean, yes, that has happened sometimes, but typically we see this like go up and then do what's known as the Bart, where it's like Bart Simpson, and it's just like the top of his head, where it's like this, and then it comes right back down, right? And then you have the eyes right here, and that's a little scary Bart. You get angry Bart right there. And so, yeah, that's typically what we see. We don't typically see it go back up after that. It's literally, you could see it, something similar happened literally right here, up, sideways, down, and then it did not go back up. So I'm not really expecting it to go up. However, looking at where the price is right now, let me go to another chart, because I had this written out on another chart. This is the spot. I mean, this is the spot where if it's going to go up, it should go up from here, because this is the bullish order block, and it's a 12-hour bullish order block. And then if we go down to the 4-hour, actually we'll have to go down to a time frame, the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we did get a sweep of the lows right here with the very bullish long wick doji candle, which looks really, really good at the support. So technically speaking, this, along with the fact that we have a rising RSI, a rising stochastic RSI, a rising MACD on the 1 hour, this is the area too long, because there is a clear invalidation right below this wick. Because if this wick was the wick that was used to take out all of the people who started longing, who basically longed this entire area right here, like from let's see if it goes back even further. Maybe they put their orders in, their long orders in, like anywhere in this box. Maybe they had their stops down here. That's one explanation. And then once we wicked down there, that was pretty much to stop them all out. So if we do come back down here and close underneath this wick, honestly, I don't think that's going to look very good for Bitcoin. And most likely, we're probably going to see 23,000. So let me go back to the daily chart and just see where we're at. Because, well, actually, let's start on the weekly chart and see what's going on. Hold on, there was a bug. But yeah, let's go to the weekly and check a couple things out. I know this chart is just absolutely bonkers right now, but I did create something. So we'll go through Bitcoin. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go through Bitcoin, and then I'll go into the total market cap and the dominance levels and some other things like that, because yeah, it's looking a little precarious. Oh man, yeah, that's actually not looking good either. You could also check out the monthly chart. Let me get rid of this. Let me find a Bitcoin chart that doesn't have too much on it. So this is the monthly chart. We're going to start off on the monthly chart, and then we'll go down. We'll just do the top-down analysis. Why not? So top-down analysis. We have the monthly chart. What do we see here? Well, we see an SFP of the highs right here. So this, let me zoom in. This right here was a swing failure pattern of this previous high, and then it closed down here. And now we had the close underneath this low. So we had a monthly bearish market structure break. We had the move up, the move down, the move up, and then we had a close on the monthly underneath the close of the previous low. So that's very bearish. That is very bearish. And this means that right here, 27,219 is pretty much the area that it's probably gonna, if it comes, it'll probably come up here sometime this month in September before falling back down. And honestly, on the monthly chart, I don't use the monthly chart for like my analysis because crypto moves so quickly. The highest time frame I like to use is the weekly, but this right here, this area, damn, 21,000 on the monthly chart is looking like where it's heading towards, given that there was the bearish market structure break on the monthly chart. So the monthly chart looks absolutely terrible. We have that down. Then let's go, but you can't really use the monthly chart. So let's go down to a weekly chart and see what we got here. All right, so we have the weekly chart, and I like this. I put out these different ranges I did this like a while ago. And so on the weekly chart, what do we have? We have this big range that we have now fallen below it. And I wrote this here, like reject from here, we go much, much, much lower. And even in my last videos and a lot of other videos, I said, don't want to drop below this line, 28,270. That was really the line. Like, you really didn't want to drop underneath here. So we're having, things just really are not looking good. I'm definitely more bearish than bullish at this point. Look at the weekly. What happened? Let's move this out of the way so you could get a little bit of a better picture of what I'm seeing here. I'll get rid of that, and we'll move this over here. So what do we have? We had obviously the lows back in November, FTX, all this crap happened, right? And then we ended up, I think Robinhood was the one who ended up buying a crazy amount of Bitcoin, just buy. Then we had the move back down into this bullish breaker right here. So we hit the bullish breaker right here, and then had a big wick into it on the weekly time frame also. But basically we got the bullish breaker and then a big move up, right? So low, high, low, and these are higher lows. So low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And then you could count this as the next higher low. And now we're here. I mean, this is it. This is it. If we fall below this low, Bitcoin and crypto is pretty screwed, because that means that we lost this range. Basically we lost this range. So we have, if in 1 week from now, because today is the start of the new week, if this candle that we're in right now closes where it's at right now, it closes below this line, closes below $25,937, at least on the Coinbase chart, then you know that we're screwed. And look at this candle. Look at how this is a bearish long wick candle. Not good. I was honestly expecting the price to come up to at least here, which is the weekly bearish order block. This is the up move before the down. Oh, I guess this. Yeah. I mean, this is a order block, a bearish order block. I was thinking maybe it wasn't, but yeah, if you count this right here, this low, this is a swing low. So you could zoom in a little. You could zoom in right here. So this is the swing low, because on either side the lows are higher, right? So we have this swing low, and then we had an up move, and then we had a down move that broke the market structure again. So down, up, and then down. And so this is the weekly bearish order block, and I was really expecting the price to come up here. Everyone gets super, super, super bullish. We come up here and then we reject and we, fall back down from there. But it didn't even get up there. Like, let's go down to a lower time frame chart now and take a look at it. Let's look at the daily chart. And we're looking at the daily chart now. Yeah, we fell below the key level. And not only did we fall below this key, horizontal, but we had this major diagonal support level as well. And we broke below that. And one of the things that I look for bearish scenarios in this is a bear flag. So I would look for a move that would look something like coming down, a move like this where the price stays within this channel, this ascending channel, and then eventually like taps this area right up here and has some long wicks. That is such a good trade. But this right here, this is like down, sideways, pump on the news all the way back down. Like it's a little bit obviously it's not a bear flag, and so it's a much harder read, but at the same time it's pretty bearish. It's not bullish at all. Like if this was bullish, we should have seen the price should have not, honestly, the price shouldn't have come below like 26,235. It shouldn't have come below here. Like it should have bounced off of here. But like technically speaking, it's still in the bullish order block. So you definitely, I mean, I'm definitely not going to be shorting right here. That's for sure. I'll short if we get a move and a close down, like pretty much a close anywhere under where we are right now. I'll look for shorting opportunities, or just like how I said, if we get that bear flag like this and then close, if we get a bear flag, like basically where we are right now, if we get a bear flag like this, like near the support, and it creates something like that, then I'll look to short, and I'll target somewhere down there, because I don't think that this is gonna hold. But for right now, the one thing that I will say is that everybody is I think everyone is bearish right now. I think everyone was extremely bearish down here, and then we had this huge pump up, and then some people got bullish, and like we are so back, we're so back, it's all over social media, like we're back, and then we just fall back down, and now it's like, oh, it's over, it's totally over now. And there's a lot more validity to the it's totally over now right here, like right now, as opposed to back here, especially after we had this amazing long wick bullish hammer candle, followed by, which was also a SFP of the lows, and then we had a lot of them on the lower time frames as well. Like there was a lot of bullish price action right here, and then this happened, right? Obviously right now there's no bullish price action. We had a pretty big bearish candle, and if you want to take a trade, like you really got to go down into the lower time frames. And yeah, this right here is the trade setup right now. It's looking at this candle right here. This is it, and you'd enter right here. Stop goes below this wick, and then to be safe, to be on the safe side, you'd probably take your profit right there. So it's not even that good of a trade, a 1.24R. Of course, you could bring it all the way up and get that 2.34R, which is pretty solid. And I could see this happening, just like one more squeeze, get the rest of the late short sellers out of the market. But it's definitely something that would require a little bit of cojones. I wouldn't risk that much. I'd probably risk 1%. So I'll probably do that. I'll probably just put this trade on. I'll risk 1%, maybe even 0.5%, just to do it, because it does sort of, it meets my criteria. So what's the criteria? The criteria is, if you're going to long, the price has to be somewhere near the support, number one. Number two, the price action has to be slowing down. So you could see that there was this huge bearish candle, and then the candles were getting pretty much they were getting smaller and smaller, and then we started getting some bullish momentum with the wicks, and then we got a nice bullish candle, and now we're sort of just like consolidating over here, and then we have the indicators to act as confluence to this move. So yeah, and the RR is, it's good enough to be over. As long as it's over a 1.5 for me, then I'm happy taking a trade. So you could get it up all the way up to a 2.4 on this Bitcoin trade. So I'll probably do that. But like I said, if this falls down here, that's not going to be good. So I'm gonna actually make an alert, and I'm gonna say BTC, if it closes down here, sell, most likely going lower. So let's say it does not move up, and it just goes down and it closes. What do I think is going to happen? Let me just put 25,592. Well, let's look at the higher time. What do we have to the left? What do we have to the left? We have this little thing right here. Yeah, this little thing right here. So it's like, is there opportunity for it to come down and then move up and just like manipulate the hell out of everyone? And yes, there is. But going back to the higher time frames, I mean, yeah, I don't know. This is the support, and if it's like basically if we lose this, then we're back into this box. We're back into this range, from this low to this high, then this low, and then eventually this high. Like, so we're back into here. So you could technically target the lows of this range if the price falls, like it goes back into it. I mean, 18,500. That's on the table. That's totally on the table. Let me get this stupid bug. Oh my God. Yeah, if the price goes back into this range, and that's probably what I'll do. Because I don't think that people would really expect us to go all the way back down to like 1850 or something, and that would ring true with this liquidity zone down here. Where's my little, here we go, with this liquidity zone. So there's a lot of people who probably have stops down here because this was the low, so they want to buy, and they probably put their stops here. So you could run this, collect all the stops, and then actually zoom up from there. But ultimately though, I do think that this was the bottom. I don't see us coming back down to 15,500. I don't see us coming back down to this area. I see us coming back down to the bottom of this big thing. This is what this range basically is where I see the bottom. I don't see us going below here. That would be, yeah, I don't see it. Like something drastic would have to happen. I think that this is the bottom. Okay, so that was Bitcoin. Now let's move on to Ethereum. So Ethereum is definitely different on the monthly chart. There was literally just, I guess there was a low, there was a high, low, high, and then a lower low. So this right here, what was the lower low, and then eventually created, this low down here. But this is why I don't use the monthly chart, because it's like, yeah, when this closed down, the monthly chart already happened and it closed below the monthly lows. And so, yes, we had more downside. So, 7% low, but then like immediately after that, we went all the way back up. And then, so what, you're going to sell here, try to catch a 7% move and then move all the way back up? No, it's just way easier to do the weekly chart. So anyway, I'm doing this, and this right now, it looks, honestly, just toppled over. It just toppled over. Like there's nothing else that you could really say. Toppled over. This right here was the swing failure. Let me do this. I'll make it like this. So this was the swing failure pattern right there at the top. So I'll just mark this off like this, and I'll put this as the top. All right, boom. So that was the first inclination, and yeah, there's not really much to say on the monthly chart for Ethereum, to be honest. I mean, it didn't really reach the, no, it didn't reach the 61.8. Maybe if you bring it down, I guess so if you bring it down, if you go from the very, very top to the very, very bottom, it reaches 61.8. But let's go down to the weekly chart, because this is not enough. This is not enough information. Okay, so now we're on the weekly chart, and this definitely paints a really bigger picture over here. So first off, you had this giant move up followed by this giant move down, which ended up being a swing failure pattern of this high. So you had this SFP right there. And before that, though, you had the low. Well, I guess you had the low, back in June of 2022. And then in November of 2022, surprisingly, in November with the FTX stuff, it did not create a lower low than it did back in June. But regardless, we had a low, we had a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then boom, right here, like we broke the market structure downward. So now we're in a downtrend, because we were in an uptrend creating higher lows, and now we created a lower low. So when this happened down here, you would have expected us to I would have expected the price to come back up to maybe here, and then get rejected, because it shouldn't have, well, not shouldn't, like it does what it does, but like technically speaking, it shouldn't come all the way back up after it creates a lower low and, pretty much creates a low time frame, a bearish market structure break, and then like create a higher high. I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense this way. This should have held, and then or it should have come up here and then got rejected, but it didn't. It came up here and created a higher high compared to back here. So now it's like, okay, it's very, very choppy. This is like the definition of choppy. It's not in a down, it wasn't a downtrend, and now it's an uptrend, and now like you have to wait until this gets broken in order to know if it's back into a downtrend, which obviously you could see right here, like it did. So, put this right here and just put this as a bearish market structure break on the weekly. So we have that. And now we have a low, we have a lower low, and now we have a lower low. So, we're just making lower lows. Can you argue that this is a bull flag? Let's check this out. I mean, I guess technically you could. Yeah, you could argue that this is a bull flag, and it could come down to 1500 and then, like shoot up from there. That is an argument to be made, but I'm not going to use that argument right now. I'm just going to look at the levels. Obviously, you could tell that we're on the 200 weekly moving average right now. This is like very important. The 200 weekly moving average is super important. I mean, actually, I don't want to say that. I don't believe that moving averages are super, super important, but typically the 200 MA is like a significant moving average, and we are above it, but things just are not looking very good. Let me get rid. I don't know what that is. And also the other thing that I noticed is that we have, this formation right here where we have the swing low and then the swing low with the bullish candlestick pattern and the bullish engulfing candle, and like this is super bullish right here. So the fact that like this happened, these 3 candlesticks occurred, which is crazy bullish, and we didn't actually get back to the highs, that's not good. And then obviously the bearish market structure break right here, like this should have, at the very least, it should have created this and then another low right here. This should have been the low. Like this should have been a higher low compared to here, and it should have shot up. Like that's technically what happens. So the fact that it didn't do that, yeah, it's definitely leaning more bearish. And we had the market structure break, and now, once, just like how Bitcoin should have come up to the bearish. This right here is the bearish order block on the weekly. So weekly bearish OB right there. So will it come up to here before getting rejected? That's the question. Like, is it actually gonna do this, or is it gonna just topple over from here? That's what we're working with right now. Typically, things, if they're really bearish, they just topple over and you don't get the retest. But I don't want to. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna short it at the 200 weekly moving average after this giant move down. Like that's dumb. You need to have some type of retracement. So this is the weekly chart, but really not looking all that hot. And if we take the fib from the bottom to the top, where's the 61.8? It is right here at where this wick was. So there's obviously crazy buying pressure down here. So if things are looking pretty bearish, which is what they are, I would expect 1400 to be where the low would be for Ethereum. So there's no read right now on the weekly time frame in terms of setting up a trade or anything like that. If it came back up here, then yeah, we would. But right now there's you can't really do anything. You can't really do anything with this. So let's go down to a lower time frame and see if there's something there. Okay, so looking at the 12-hour chart of Ethereum, we could see that the price, it fell down below this major diagonal support line, right? This was being held up since November of 2022. So since pretty much almost the bottom, and it kept on tapping it. Finally, when we broke through it, this right here, when this broke through, this was an awesome shorting opportunity. So you short right here, and your stop goes above the highs right there, and you could target, you look left and probably target right here at 1640. That would have been a great shorting opportunity. So I have to make more updates more consistently to make sure that you guys get this. But regardless, this was the deal, and then it fell. It had this huge rebound, and probably from people who took that short, and then it formed this descending channel, and it broke up above it, which is bullish. and then came back down, and just like Bitcoin, now it's at the bullish order block. So it's within the bullish order block. So you can short it, but it would not be wise to short something that's at the bullish order block, at the support, back here, some support level. Even though things do look not good, it's most likely gonna come up, and we'd have to go into the lower time frames. Maybe on the 1 hour chart, there's something similar to Bitcoin with like a big doji candle or a hammer or something like that. But I would think that at least it would come up here, if not do something like this, come up here and then fall back down, and then go down like this. That would be what I would think would happen. So that's my analysis right here. I do think that the fact that it fell down below here, that's pretty bad. And this is probably my target. I mean, this would have to be my target. It would have to be 1,500. Anywhere between 1,400 and 1,500 really would be the target. I'd probably play it safer, and you get 10% off. You get at 14. If you get at 1,500, get some ETH at 1,500. That's not bad, So in the long term, in the span of things, because it's probably going to be 10 grand in a few years. So yeah, I'm going to put some alerts in right here and say, because there's probably going to be a bounce here. So I'll throw that like that. I think there's going to be a bounce here. Maybe we'll end up going lower. I don't know, but that's right now. Let's go down to the 1 hour and just check. Is there something? Yeah, just like Bitcoin, same exact thing. There was this long wick candle at the support. It's bullish. It's looking bullish. The RSI, stochastic RSI, it's pointing up. The MACD is pointing up. So this would be the trade to take. You would do something like this. Stop goes underneath here. Target would be at least right here. So this is it'd be at least right here. So, 3%, 2.4 are not terrible. And if it closes down below here, I would just sell. I would get out and I would sell. So I'm going to put a alert right here. I'm going to say ETH. If it closes below here, get out and target lower. I'll say 1,500. And yeah, if it comes up here, then take profit and then try to see what's going to happen. Is it going to come back up above this weekly bearish market structure break and support resistance level and then continue on up? Or is it just going to get rejected from here and keep on going down? That's the question. But right now it's looking like it should move at least a couple percentage moves up. And if it doesn't, then, it's an easy, and it closes down here, easy short. Okay, so I think I've been more bearish than bullish, for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And another reason why I am more bearish than bullish right now is because I'm looking at the dominance chart for altcoins, which typically coincides with the market. And I say typically because sometimes it doesn't. Look at how the altcoin market dominance has just been dwindling, and yet since January, and yet Bitcoin and a lot of coins are up since January. So this is a tough one to say. It was super accurate in the bull market, but it's not really that accurate now. However, I feel like it should have some weight. And given the fact that it broke below the major support, and now it's creating a bear flag, I don't really like it, because it seems like the dominance level is going to come back up here and then it's just going to fall, which makes me more bullish on Bitcoin, because if the altcoin dominance rises and hits a big resistance area, and then the altcoin dominance falls, that means that Bitcoin has a higher probability of actually outperforming. And the other thing that I was thinking is that there is a Bitcoin ETF, proposal, right? So let's say that the Bitcoin ETF actually goes through. What coin is going to make the biggest gains? It's going to be Bitcoin, right? Obviously, because it's a Bitcoin ETF. It's not an altcoin ETF. It's not ETH ETF. It's not DOGE ETF. It's a Bitcoin ETF. So why not have a lot of powder, or a lot of Bitcoin, more Bitcoin than altcoins right now, given that the Bitcoin ETF will make the price of Bitcoin move up more than altcoins, and altcoin dominance is coming into resistance. And let's say that the Bitcoin ETF gets rejected, okay, or denied, and then Bitcoin goes down and Bitcoin crashes. Well, it's most likely that a lot of altcoins will crash further down than Bitcoin. So why not have Bitcoin? So that's my overall thesis of why I would rather hold a lot more Bitcoin than altcoins. However, there is one altcoin that I want to hold a lot of, and that right there, and that is Doge. So there's Doge, and I really, really, really like Doge. This is Doge on the weekly chart. You could see that it's, anywhere, literally anywhere down here is a great accumulation zone in my opinion. And I'm just waiting until Elon Musk drops the X.com payments. He's already hinted a lot about it. It's obviously news by this point that X.com is going to implement cryptocurrencies. So it's only a matter of time. As soon as it gets launched, I'm sure Dogecoin will pump up. And I bought a lot down here. So, if it does end up pumping up, that's an easy 16%, probably an easy 24, 25%, if not higher. Maybe it'll pump all the way back up to the weekly resistance and, 40%, something like that. And yeah, so pretty much it's Bitcoin and then some Ethereum, but it's mostly Bitcoin and Doge. And then there's a lot of small caps that I'm in as well for like my longer term investment account. But that's pretty much it. And, obviously from this, you could tell I'm more bearish than bullish right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us come down. One other thing, though, one thing that might be a good bullish case is that the dollar did just create this bearish market structure break on the daily, but it's still pretty... it's not bad. And my original thesis when it was coming down here was that it was going to bounce from right here, which it did, and then come all the way up here before turning around. So we'll see what happened, but it did get the yearly swing failure pattern. Let me check this out real quick, what that looked like. So okay, so yeah, that's what this was. This was the yearly SFP of this right here. So damn, is it going to keep on going up then? That might actually looking at the yearly chart of this, which is crazy to think about, a 12-month chart. It actually doesn't look that bad. So yeah, if this keeps on going up, man, crypto might be in for a long, hard, downward trajectory. And yeah, it's sort of looking like on a high time frame, like that's the case. On the yearly. On the monthly, not as much. I like the lower lows on the monthly. So it would be great if we get to see it spike up into here and then, have it fall down. So I'll just, have this fall down like this. This is what I would really love. And then we could get a big pump in crypto and equities and stuff at the end of the year. So that's going to be this. Oh, I guess I'll do the weekly chart. Okay. So we got a swing failure pattern down here. So it's bullish. Oops, get rid of that and zoom in. It's not bearish, that's for sure, but it's also at the highs, and we did have our first red candle in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So, 5 months. Holy crap. Yeah, in 5 months, we had our first bearish month last month. So that's not really that good, to be honest. And we did, have a weekly bearish market structure break, back down there. And so it should come up and then potentially make a top right here before coming back down and rolling over. So that wouldn't be good. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. This is way overbought as well. Look what happened the last time it was overbought. It was, it kept on going for a little bit, but then eventually rolled over. How about the last time it was overbought over here? Oh, it actually... I guess it just kept on going up. Yeah, so all right, so there is hope. There is hope, but I'd be a little cautious. I don't know. Equities, yeah, it's not bad. It's not like, oh my god, this is definitely a bearish, super bearish, but also it's like, dude, look at it. It's like all the way up here at the previous top. Like you want to get it when it's the shift from, like, at the very least create, this diagonal, right? Connecting all these tops. And then as soon as it breaks above there, look for a retest of something, retest of it maybe right here, or get in right there, or look to get in down here at the bullish order block, and then ride the wave up at the very least, or wait, you see lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, higher high. So then look for an equal low and try to get in at the equal low down here. This actually created a lower low, so you got screwed. But when this created the double bottom down here, that was an indication to get in. And then, you know, once it came up, it finally created a higher high compared to right here. So then you could try to get in, you know, on the retrace that way and then make a move up. But I don't know. To me, it rallied all the way up here. You know, how much did this rally so far? 30%. Yeah, 31% so far off the lows. It just doesn't seem like it's the smartest decision to go into like buy stocks like right now. It also doesn't seem like the dumbest decision. So that's iffy. That's iffy. But if I see a good setup, then I'll definitely let people know. I mean, for the short term, we got the bullish breaker right here, you know. So sorry, not bullish OB, bullish breaker. Where are we at? There we go. And yeah, so it should go and then go up from here and go back to the highs of 40, 46, 46.20. That's what it should do if you're following the strategy on the daily. So yeah, ES is looking a little positive, so that's good. And other than that, I think I'm going to end it here, because what's the point of going through all these other coins if I'm in Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and then a little bit of Ethereum? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's other lower caps. So what I'll do is I'll make another video going over to lower caps. And, you know, if you like this video, if this video gave you any, you know, insights into trading or helped you at all, please give it a thumbs up, because that helps the algorithm. It helps my, you know, lets me know that I'm talking to people. It's been a while. I'm going to try to make more videos. Right now, I'm really focused on creating really high quality educational videos. So those will be dropping, you know, within probably like 2 months or so. Once I finish editing them, it takes me about 2 months per video to write the script, to look at the charts and find the examples, to edit the videos like really nicely and like everything like that. So, you know, we'll see. I've gotten 2 or 3 videos down so far, 2 videos down and 1 script, and I have like 5 or 6 videos to go. So it's going to be a while, but I'm going to be releasing them. I'm hiring an editor to try to get it done faster. But yeah, that's the deal. So press that like button, and I will create a video on low caps and some other stuff. I'll just make the video right now. So thanks again for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.